Some breaking news in our world lead. You just heard from President Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu sitting in the Oval Office talking about the future of the Middle East. There were a lot of comments there that I'm sure were very shocking to a lot of individuals, where President Trump was talking about how Palestinians should not go back to Gaza, should not live in Gaza, that it's a place of death and destruction, and maybe there's someplace better where they can live. Also asked about whether or not he would support Israeli settlements in Gaza. He also said, why would that happen? It's a place of death and destruction. No one should want to live there. Very interesting comments, to use a word. John King and Beth Sanner are here. John, interesting comment, and again, I'm saying interesting because I'm really not even sure how to respond to it, but Palestinians in Gaza, some of whom we should note have been living there for generations, their families, if not literally centuries, saying Gaza should not be there. It's not a, quote, place people should be living.
If you don't think elections have consequences, listen to that over and over and over again. And President Trump says it so casually, sometimes you don't understand what he's saying. Because he just says it as if he's saying, Tuesday comes after Monday and there's a weekend before that. That was the President of the United States sitting in the Oval Office endorsing the forcible resettlement of Palestinians off their own land, land that international law recognizes as their land, as land that the United States, until 2 weeks and a day ago at least, recognized as their land. And the Prime Minister of Israel, the state created because Jews were forcibly relocated, forcibly resettled, and then killed in Europe by Hitler, sitting there smiling, while the President of the United States is saying we should forcibly resettle a people off their land. Now, the Arab nations in the neighborhood have all protested, mutedly, because they don't want to pick a fight with President Trump, but Jordan and Egypt have said no. It goes against everything the Arabs have said for decades. Now, the Arabs have often used the Palestinians as pawns in their other grievances. Beth can describe that better than me. But for the President of the United States, a democracy, to say we would forcibly support the forcible resettlement of people because he says it's hell. The Palestinian people would tell you that's their land. And they didn't want to be, there was a terrorist attack on Israel on October 7th. We can never forget that. There was a terrorist attack by Hamas on Israel on October 7th. But the idea that a result of that should be the Palestinian people forcibly resettled off their land with no international conversation, no Palestinian representation by the President of the United States, I can't think of a bigger policy shift like that.
So I guess one of the questions, Beth, is, first of all, in addition to what's your take on this, like how much of this is like, this is the policy? Because what he was just saying, like Steve Witkoff, as of now, his Middle East envoy, has been, by all observations that I have heard, been a very thoughtful and diligent leader in this region.
Yeah.
While that sounds, there was a joke during the first Trump administration, Donald from Queens, you're on the air. Like, he would just say, like,